community. Or for that matter, if even one of the people who intruded parliament was a non-Hindu, would the discussions have been the same? And would the BJP
I'll humbly disagree. I'll humbly disagree and wrap up on this note that I don't think we need to make every issue into a Hindu-Muslim binary. It was a massive breach. It doesn't matter the religion of the people who came or the religion of the MP who facilitated the entry of these people. That I think is a complete rabbit hole. That's not relevant to what happened yesterday. What we need to do is to fix what went wrong yesterday. And yes, for that, accountability needs to be fixed. And let's see what the inquiry of the DGCRPF finds out. We'll take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, an exclusive interview with the Israeli ambassador to India, Naor Gilon. It's been more than 2 months since the war against Hamas began. It's a raging conflict in the Middle East. Just this past week, there's been a massive vote in the United Nations, 150 plus countries, including India, asking for a ceasefire. But is Israel in any mood to listen? That's on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Presented by.
Okay, we were focusing on the political fallout. Let's now bring you details from what actually took place. Yesterday, you'll remember, as we've been telling you since the start of the show, a major security breach took place in Parliament with 2 men making their way all the way almost up into the well. Now, in total, since yesterday, 7 people have been accused in this entire case. Remember, 2 entered inside the Parliament. 2 were believed to have been standing right outside. They also had the same gas-emitting, smoke-coloured explosives that the 2 people inside the Parliament did. So 2 people inside, 2 people outside. 1 person, apart from those 2, recording all of these proceedings from outside. That's Lalit Jha. Lalit Jha is still absconding. And 2 more people who were harbouring all of these people in Gurgaon. That takes the number up to 7. Now, we're going to bring you more details, but what are the details of the investigation so far? Police say that they've found books of revolutionaries like Bhagat Singh and Chandrasekhar Azad. All of these people, all of the 7, were connected reportedly by a Facebook group. They were part of a Bhagat Singh fan club. Police officials say the group possibly carried out a recce of the Parliament before the Wednesday act. The attempt to seek a visitor pass through MP Pratap Sinha, that's also been on for 3 months, so it's not something that took place in a quick period of time. Now, the Ministry of Home Affairs, as we speak, has set up a larger inquiry panel. It's headed by the DG of the CRPF, Anish Dayal Singh. 8 security personnel since today morning have been suspended from the duty. Now, I do want to point out, these are the security personnel who, according to our reporters, were involved at the very ground level in the checking. So the checking that takes place when, as a visitor, you try to enter. But till now, as we speak, no higher level suspensions have taken place. Delhi Police Special Cell has taken over the entire investigation as we speak. We're going to be bringing you more details on the investigation and the kind of action and follow through that is taking place. First, though, this is a ground report from my colleague Anshul. I believe he visited the house of one of the people who took part in yesterday's act. This is a house in Haryana. Take a look.
No one had any idea that something like this was on the charts or something like this was being actually planned by Neelam. But one thing is for sure, and what the family has also confirmed, that she was a very prominent part of the farmers' protest that broke out. And that is the reason why at this point in time, at the exact location at which I am standing, a panchayat has been called by the local farmers over here. And there they would decide if at all they are going to go ahead and support Neelam in this endeavour that she had picked up to go ahead and protest right outside the Parliament.
These are the latest details that are coming in as far as the Parliament security breach is concerned. Our reporters are on the ground getting us all the latest updates as far as the probe is concerned. But we'll quickly walk you through more details on what exactly happened in the Parliament yesterday. Remember, there was a security breach. Now, let's take you through the sequence of events that happened yesterday since 1 p.m. And CNN News 18 was the first to show you these visuals yesterday at 1 p.m. on how the first intruder, as you can see, jumped from the visitors gallery to the well, and he was jumping desks, as you can see in these visuals, and the MPs were trying to get hold of him. So these are the visuals that came yesterday. And after the two intruders created chaos in the Lok Sabha, the the MPs caught hold of them and thrashed them as hard as they could, and they thrashed the intruder who was jumping from desk to desk. And after that, color bomb was also blown outside the parliament. So inside the parliament also there were two intruders that used the color bombs. But if we talk about outside the parliament, the situation was the same. There were other two protesters who were protesting, and they also were using color bombs. So these are the visuals from inside the parliament yesterday when the MPs thrashed the two intruders. They caught hold of one of the intruders, in fact both the intruders, and they thrashed him inside the Lok Sabha. These are the visuals, as you can see in the visuals, the MPs who were present in the Lok Sabha yesterday thrashing the intruders who jumped from the visitors gallery into the Lok Sabha. So, and these were the visuals that came from outside the parliament, where there were other two protesters who were protesting outside the parliament, and they also used the color bombs, which were also used inside the parliament. And in fact, what we are learning that they concealed the smoke bombs inside their shoes. So this is the visual. This is how they concealed the bomb inside their shoe, and that is how they were able to take it inside the parliament premises. In fact, after all of this occurred in the parliament, what we also learned that visitor pass was recovered from the intruders. This was the visitor pass that was recovered from the intruders, and in fact it had the name of BJP MP Pratap Simha. So the pass was issued by Pratap Simha's office. So this is the visitor pass that was recovered from one of the intruder whose name is Manu Ranjan. This was the pass that was recovered from him. And now we're being joined by CNN News 18's Anshul Singh, who's joining us from Jind in Haryana, and he is live with us from Neelam's house, who was also one of the protesters who was protesting outside the parliament. Anshul, what do the family members have to say about it?
So yes, the family members have constantly been saying, we have spoken to them last night as well and this morning as well, and the family members continue to say that they had actually no idea that something like this was being planned by Neelam. In fact, Neelam came over here at this house right outside which I am standing at this point in time, just day before yesterday, to fill some forms for the exam, and that point in time the family also had no idea absolutely that something like this could happen. However, the family says that yes, Neelam along with the entire village was the part of the farmers' protest that happened on the borders of the national capital. Now the family is in the next few minutes is expected to leave for the national capital. I'll just try and speak to her brother. भैया एक बात ये बताइए, अभी आप लोग दिल्ली जा रहे हैं, कौन-कौन लोग दिल्ली जाएंगे और किन लोगों का समर्थन आपको मिलेगा?
पहले किसानों से मिलेंगे, किसानों के जो आए थे कल आजाद जी पहलवान, उनसे मिलेंगे, देखते हैं वो कैसा बंदोबस्त करते हैं, कौन-कौन साथ में जाएगा, उन्हीं को पता है। फिलहाल मेरे घर से तो मैं ही हूँ,
क्योंकि यूएपीए लगा दिया है, काफ़ी सीरियस चार्ज लगा दिया है अब दिल्ली पुलिस ने, इसमें मुश्किलें काफ़ी बढ़ सकती हैं आगे।
देखते हैं, वो तो मुश्किल तो ये कल से देख रहे हैं हम, बढ़ी हुई है हमारे तो, क्योंकि कल से खान पान है जो है सब कुछ बंद ही है, सुबह 6 बजे से लेके।
At a recent UN event in the UN headquarters, there were gory details that were shared by eyewitnesses. It's very unfortunate that UN Women condemned this act nearly 2 months after Hamas perpetrated it on October 7. I see all these faces, majority of them being women and children. Prime Minister Netanyahu has also talked about global indifference towards sexual violence that was perpetrated by Hamas on October 7. I want to know from you, do you think that the global community, especially the United Nations, have glossed over sexual violence against women by Hamas?
Yes. The short answer is yes. What Hamas did on that day, they systematically raped women, group raping, whatever, in front of the families, not only women, also children, also men were sexually abused. Most of them were murdered. So what they did, they shot the women. After they abused them, they shot them. So it's kind of a humiliation. I don't even understand the logic behind it. But anyhow, terrible. We never experienced that. We never, we saw a lot of brutality in the terrorism against Israel, suicide bombers in buses and restaurants and whatnot in the past. this brutality was really, really, and you know, when women, the eyewitnesses were people who somehow survived and saw it, and not too many, because as I said, most of the victims were raped and then killed. There was like, the eyewitnesses were not, you know, when they claimed that they saw rape or there were semen remains on bodies and stuff like that, on naked bodies that were found, and body parts which were cut, the breasts of women and stuff like that. The world asked us to prove it was not enough. So, you know, as if the victims cannot speak, and now they are doubted whether Israel is using it as a propaganda, which it's not knowing Israel. For us to speak about these topics is very, very hard. And we were shocked because Israel was always a leader in the world. Israel is a very liberal country. In what came to human rights, women's rights, gay rights, all that, Israel was always in the forefront of the world and fighting in international arena with international organizations, not only UN organizations, it's also relevant UN organizations, but also NGOs. So, you know, they didn't believe, they thought it's propaganda, did not believe the Israeli women or the Israeli witnesses. And this is terrible, really terrible. And it brought people to the thinking that maybe when you rape a Jewish woman, it's okay. So it seems like the world doesn't care. When the rape is somewhere else or something, so the world is shouting. We were also shouting in other places in the world when things happened.
At the United Nations, we've seen an overwhelming number of votes at the UNGA resolution that was passed calling for a ceasefire and for the immediate release of hostages. How do you assess the latest UNGA resolution, in which India also has, of course, voted in favor of this resolution? What is your assessment?
So, first of all, it's a one-sided resolution. It does not speak about Hamas in the way it should, about how things happened. As Hillary Clinton, I think, put it in the beginning of the thing, better than everyone else. She said, but until October 7, October 6, there was a ceasefire violated by Hamas. So Hamas chose to attack